him out from underneath.
Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well, because it seems like Valorant is now finally shaping up. We're gonna be looking into how Valorant in 2021 and its new patch notes are gonna be making a massive change. First part is going to be talking about the Valorant Championship. The Valorant Championship is actually super important for the new patch notes and episode 2. Even if you're an average player that doesn't care much about the esport tournaments in Valorant, this is a pretty important topic. And why is that? Well, Valorant has been in esports slumps lately, basically establishing themselves in esports, but that is about to change. Valorant's new championship will shape up how episode 2 will look. With new act like act 1, 2 and 3, we got a new agent. We got Killjoy, Reyna and Skye. All of these agents are perfect and balance the meta, so it's fair in every way possible. But they add another thing, competitive integrity and actually more esport hype. Valorant First Strike tournament actually raked in a lot of viewers, but the professional Valorant esports scene is about to get a lot more structured. Today, or yesterday, developer Riot Games announced its plans for competitive Valorant in 2021, and it includes a new global tournament series that will see teams play in regional competitions before making their way up to the best in the world. Riot calls it the Valorant Championship Tour. With no specific competitions or dates have announced yet, the competition is divided into 3 tiers. There are regional challenger events, and the best teams for this will move on to the 3 master competitions, which will serve as the qualifying rounds for the final global championship event where 16 teams will compete. That gives every single player, even you, a fair chance to compete in the grand tournament. That's right, it doesn't matter if you're, Iron or Immortal, you can still compete. This is what makes Valorant really unique in its own way. Usually in CSGO, you have to be invited by the biggest organizations, and the other bigger esport orgs actually play in those tournaments. Sure, that is fun to watch, but doesn't really give any chance to the amateur teams. With Valorant, if you're a good team and you can prove yourself, you have a chance to play against TSM, Cloud9 or Sentinels. It doesn't matter. If you're orgless, no worries, you can still play. It's really nice seeing that anyone can play with any agent of their choosing, with the meta expanding fast. But most importantly, will Jett ever revive Phoenix?
Revive me, Jett, revive me.
I guess this tournament in a way shows you how Valorant First Strike planned a lot for this series and start of smaller tournaments as well. As I'm noticing, there's also smaller tournaments rising up, which definitely brings some hype. However, what we're more interested is about the new patch notes and the new acts. What we could potentially be seeing other than new game modes is always new agents. Now, as they said with maps, the maps are gonna be slightly similar than Icebox. They're basically gonna promote diversity to playing instead of being another CSGO clone. And I think that's fine. I think that is something that every game needs. Diversity and a bit of uniqueness. Now there is one thing Valorant has no comment yet, and that is the new consoles and mobile. Now the new consoles and mobile will not only bring new experience to the players, the old ones or the new ones, but also it's gonna be a lot of fun. Why is that? It's gonna bring in new players, and bringing in new players from mobile and cross-platform, or even if it's not cross-platform, PS4, PS5, whatever it will be announced, they bring in a lot of revenue. Let's face it, Valorant skins are a huge trend right now, and if they market this correctly, they can feature a lot bigger updates and a lot more frequent ones, so you should definitely be excited for that. If I were to consider, Valorant Mobile would come before Valorant Console. That is because Valorant Console is pretty hard to make without any aim assist, but that's completely fine. These games take time, and we have time. Well, with Valorant Mobile, it's pretty important to know that it's definitely not gonna be cross-platform, but it's gonna give you a chance to play on the go. Valorant might actually see some huge, massive game changes before 2022. That's right, 2021 might be one of the biggest years for Valorant. Valorant really has to prove themselves to bring it next to CSGO, Overwatch, and Apex Legends. Sure, 2020 was actually a great year for Valorant, but in terms of quality, what we could get, I am expecting a lot more in 2021. 2020 was more of a development year, showing what works for Valorant and what doesn't, and that's completely fine. Valorant takes time, but right now, 2021 might be a perfect start for esports, and Episode 2, Act 1 might help that. It always provides us with unique experience of what might happen next with the buffs and nerfs. Now that we have the new meta with the new Samurai agent, we're gonna see a lot more features of what could potentially happen. What's happening this month might not be important in the next month. So for example, if Jett is really good now, it will be irrelevant in the next 3 months. And now that we talk about Viper, Viper might get a few buffs as well. And that might make Viper, believe it or not, viable in esports, which would definitely be insane considering that she gets picked on less than 1%. Another way Valorant has a huge advantage in Episode 2 is how they will use the agents. They will have a total of 60 agents in 10 years. Now that's a lot of agents, and not even Overwatch or anyone else, not even CSGO, can have that many agents or operators for that matter. With that many agents, you have a lot of viability and a lot of ways to approach the situation. Building your own teams will give Valorant more of a chance to actually play like League of Legends. There is a big advantage because Valorant is trying to become a social mode. Basically, the game is trying to be as much social as possible. With the new deathmatch and new game modes we're gonna be seeing in Episode 2, I have no doubt that it's gonna be much more fun playing Valorant. While sure it can be a competitive game, it can also be a game to relax with. If you, for example, have only 10 minutes, you can play deathmatch or spike rush. You can always practice and practice range together, so it could be either for the new players or it could be designed for the pro players as well. And don't even get me started with the maps. With the new maps in play, you can choose any map you want. With the new map bans, we have a lot of potential what could happen. Stuff like we see in CSGO could happen for Valorant as well. Map bans could become a main thing. And right now, that is the most important thing people are looking for. Seeing that in 2021, we actually get Valor Championship, and that is most likely early 2021, that is pretty exciting news as well. New Twitch Prime drops and a lot of viewership means a lot more updates for Valorant from their side. Seeing we're such a strong community, we definitely have a lot of potential. Anyway, it would help you a lot if you subscribe, because I make Valorant daily content that's actually useful to you. So yeah, let me know what you want to see next down in the comments below. And this is Fanman, sign out. Peace, guys.